Oh, the Hammer Bros are back! Alright, World 6. Time for more pain.
But yeah, that's like the big reason why it's like when, I don't mean to be an asshole when I say it's like I don't care about story because that's not the thing I want to say. It's just that, well, I think I talked about.
You don't like being like the focal point of the game.
I don't care about the story being the focal point of the game. I want the gameplay loop to be the focal point of the game.
That's why you fucking hate games like Metal Gear Solid 4.
Exactly.
Where they fucking make you watch movies in between the game. Like, man.
It's like I've already seen the game once in action when I was super young, and I feel like I never want to see it again.
The worst part is the gameplay's good. It's great. Not as good as 3, but still pretty good. But everything you gotta watch in between.
Yeah, it's like,
oh,
they want to sit here and overemphasize the story so much that it's like.
Well, again, like I said it before, Kojima is definitely one of the best and worst things to have happened in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
He had a unique mindset that changed games, a lot of like game developers' minds for how they can make a game and craft a narrative around it.
Yeah,
On the other hand, because of that, some people focus so hard on the fucking narrative to make a story that's supposed to wow you and impress you or feel like a real cinematic experience, that the actual game, part of the game, gets left on the wayside.
Yeah, and as a result, it feels like so many of the games kind of copy and paste each other.
Yeah, it sucks, especially when the game's like actually good too.
Or it's like game with like where there's story and characters that's like I want to get invested, but your game is so fucking boring that it's just like I can't be motivated.
At least Xenoblade does a good job.
Yeah, Xenoblade's like one of the few exceptions.
There's so much gameplay between the cutscenes, it doesn't feel like too big a deal.
Yeah.
Like, there just has to be a ratio. I don't mind long cutscenes, especially after like a major
yeah, that's the thing. It's like it has to be ratioed right.
Like,
and that's the problem that a lot of the big Western developers have, where it's just like the ratio.
I shouldn't be playing for 5 minutes and then having like a 3 or 5 minute cutscene after that every single time. No! Like, if I play for like an hour or two and you give me like a 10-minute cutscene, it's like, okay. I can sit and take a break. That's
Another
fine.
thing is also just the introduction of stuff like, oh, I gotta sit here and do walking cutscenes.
Yeah.
That's always like the worst thing. It's like, bro, I just want to play a fucking game.
Something that Valve did better with that than others.
There was also something that I think I told you about this when I was playing Fallen Order, which immediately made me stop playing, which was
you couldn't skip them. Yep.
Like, I died, I had to sit here and watch the entire cutscene again, and there wasn't an option to skip. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's the thing. Modern gaming, every game should have the option to skip cutscenes.
Like, I don't fucking care how good your story is. I want to play a fucking game.
Like, every game should have an option
that
to
kind
skip
of shit. That kind of shit. Like, there's this sort of principle of replay value.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing that a lot of Western games have a problem with as well, is that their replay value kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because so much of it
Yep.
feels like very one and done. That replaying it just feels like a chore. It's like, I spent 100 hours playing a game, but those 100 hours didn't feel great in some regards.
That's why some people love games like Baldur's Gate 3. Because the replay value is in exploring all the different routes you have and doing a different character and trying out different things. You can play the game in so many different ways. While most other Western games, you can play it one way, but it's all about that experience.
There's also the case of, you know, the open world game being kind of like this sort of template that's being abused in a way.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, well...
That's why people are starting to suspect that the whole scale of some games are probably going to drop.
As they probably should, because
yeah, some games have gotten too big for their own good. Now we're starting to see like a bubble getting ready to burst with development costs.
Yeah.
So people might try to lower down the scale of their games just
and that's actually been a big thing
titles.
that we should do. It's just like, we need more of these smaller, bite-sized games.
Mm-hmm. That's what the indie scene has shown to be great.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest games we've had have been smaller games.
Or, you know, like the Shadow Drop, like one of my favorite ones. I finally got an opportunity to play for a little bit. Hi-Fi Rush.
Yep.
That game, like, I have like 6 to 8 hours already, and I'm just played through like the first 2 missions because it's easy to jump in and play the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a big thing. It's just like, I don't have to sit here and worry about, oh, I gotta sit here and deal with your story or whatever, being told or whatever.
That's definitely the quality of a game that would have been around the frickin' Xbox, PS2, GameCube era. That was definitely a great time.
And that's like, and I say that like I say that as like the most complimentary thing. Like, this is the best element of like the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube era, where it's just like the game is just very pick up and play, and everything else is just kind of. I forget what the philosophy was. It's like, is it top bottom philosophy?
I think we're.
Oh no, it's bottom top. I think that's bottom up.
Yep.
The bottom up philosophy, which is the philosophy that I usually prefer.
Yep. You build the gameplay and then build the world and story and all that stuff around it.
Yeah.
Instead of top down, which is basically building the whole world and trying to craft a narrative for it, and then trying to build gameplay that would fit said narrative.
I know there's like
It can work, but
I know there's like some people that when they play their games, it's like, oh, why does it work like this? It's like, is it fun? If the answer is, if I'm having fun with it, I don't fucking care about like, oh, well, how does this work in accordance to the world, the story, and the lore, and all that. Like, I don't fucking care. If it's fun, that's all that matters to me.
Mario's one of the biggest game characters. Look at all the fucking illogical shit in this. Like fucking. You think fucking. If we all went by that logic, Mario games would be dead. They'd be gone.
Video games in general would fucking die in the
process
because it's like, how can I do half of the show? Like, how should I be able to parry a giant heavy attack like that? It's like, I don't fucking care. I want to do it because that's just how the game works.
It's fucking fun.
Like, that's just a fair mechanic to make the game fun, goddammit.
And too many games just having just pure human characters. That's what so many of the cinematic games do too, because they want to be relatable. But man, part of the fun of video games is the power fantasy.
Yeah.
Get to be a character who has abnormal powers and you get to take advantage of them to do things in ways you probably would not have thought about in reality.
He's basically basically also like a defiance of the odds in a way.
Yeah. Which can work at the opposite end, but you do have to craft a good narrative to make that work.
Yeah.
And, well, you should have good gameplay to follow to actually make, you know... Alright. I feel like you hit him from underneath, but you know what? Damn it. Oh, we hit the checkpoint, too. I mean, it can work. It's a lot harder, though, with just a basic human. You gotta give him the right tools, or you gotta give him something that makes it interesting. There's too many. It's basically just a standard human just using their physical finesse to somehow overpower a bunch of supernatural foes. Or just a large number of other foes. That's the thing with a lot of the frickin'...
I mean, that's why also, like, I'll point to another game that actually does this sort of juxtaposition well. Yakuza.
Yeah.
You're a regular person and the scenarios are serious when it matters, but when you play the game, you're a fucking madman.
Yup.
Curb stomping people, sending people out of the goddamn window.
Yup.
Tiger, damn, I forget what the damn move is called, but basically just abusing them every single way possible. Shove them with nails.
Taking down real estate moguls. All the good shit.
Yep. Karaoke as well.
Yeah, and doing karaoke. Well, Yakuza's a big exception because there are a lot of cutscenes in those games too, but the gameplay you can literally go around and do whatever you want.
Well, two things. There's two reasons why I bring up Yakuza. One, you can skip the cutscenes, which is something that should always be a thing, but I bring that up because apparently now not every single game apparently wants to fucking do that.
I think there are some in Zero you can't skip, but they're like text-based.
That's just like in-game cutscenes.
You just scroll through that though.
That's the in-game cutscenes, to be fair, and yeah, that's legitimate. That can be a legitimate criticism.
I mean, it's not the worst thing, because they usually do give context or lead you to a fight or whatever, but... Yeah. But yeah, at least they're skippable. And there's a lot of gameplay if you're going off the main gameplay route. If you're going off the main, like, story route.
That's the thing about Yakuza that I bring up is, like, these are real people in a way, but their scenarios and the way the gameplay works, it's like, it knows when it's time to play the game.
Oh, I've seen some bizarre shit. Like, I think I saw something in, like, a clip from, like, one of the later Yakuza games. I think it's one of the newest ones. You're basically fighting an excavator.
That has to be one of the new ones.
I love you see a monkey, like, looking at it, and, I want to say his name is Ichiban?
Oh, Ichiban. That's the main guy.
The new one, yeah. He was like, oh shit, don't tell me. The monkey gets it. And it's like, oh god! And it fucking roars at him. I'm like, what the fuck? Did the excavator just roar? What the fuck? I saw that clip, I was like, yo.
That's the thing. Yakuza is just...
The funniest thing about that series, apparently, the Japanese Yakuza actually does approve of their representation in those games. Although one of the big complaints they had in the first game is that they said Kazuo Kiryu dresses like shit.
Oh, you should. Oh, then I think you'll enjoy. Like, there's one particular quote in at Zero at the end
Oh God.
that references that.
I'm only still in the middle of Zero, so I haven't gotten too far yet. Oh God. That is pretty funny. That's one of their main criticisms. The main character does not dress like a Yakuza. Like a proper one. Oh God, we got maze again. Looks like you gotta go underside there to start. I see. Oh God. At least that series knows how to have fun. Yep, you gotta go under there to start. Either top or bottom here.
Okay, so.
Yep, so bottom, and then check the top or the bottom. I don't know the way through these mazes, but, well, because save states after every level, you have all the time in the world. Oh, yeah, that's right, you can peek up through that block. Their hammers go up just high enough to hit your feet. Yep, now I gotta listen for all the dings to make sure we're going the right way.
The mazes are fun.
Alright, so it's top. Got it. Bottom, top. Ah! God damn this fire! Why is this fire in such good range?
This fire's hot. Never would have guessed. Never would have guessed.
I never would have guessed. Not me. I wonder if they ever would remake any of the old Mario games again. I really do wonder. Alright, we got through that maze. Next. Oh, it's bottom first. You already hit the ding, so you can't go back. So now we just gotta run through and survive. Oh, right. They probably wanted to go top on that one. Seeing as that's the hardest one, I would assume it's top for that. Alright, so remember, it's bottom top. And then possibly bottom top again. Off screen, fucker. Good thing to know is that if Hammer Bro's not completely on screen, he won't throw hammers.
So
Bottom first. Now he's gotta get across this. I want to say it's probably the top, so that's the hardest to reach. Could also be bottom and throw you for a loop, I don't know. There is a platform down there, by the way.
I know, I'm just trying to...
Ow! Got scared! If only you could swim in lava, Mario. If only you could swim. Now again, Mario's never been given anything that makes him lava-proof. Except for maybe Metal Mario. Not if you ever get to test that in Mario 64. That would be interesting if you were immune to lava in Mario 64 with Metal Mario. I know you're immune to fire. Too bad you can't have the cape feather right now.
Yeah.
Now once you can break these games, you can have the cape feather.
That would be nice.
Then again, that's what Mario World is all about. In a way, the e-reader levels, or at least a couple of them in Mario Advance 4. Once they actually let you get the cape feather in some of the later e-reader stages. I think it's top. Oh, it's probably bottom. Stay at the bottom. It's bottom. Oh! You went just far enough, they fucked you. Just kill me now! Save the time! Ugh. Alright, wasn't there a remake of another game announced recently? I could be wrong.
There probably is, knowing how this is. Oh yeah, there is another game I'm looking forward to. Ayuden Chronicles.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah, I think Ayuden Chronicles Rising is coming on Game Pass right now.
I still need to play that. Well, I say I need to play a lot of
Well, that's
games.
like the prequel to 100 Heroes
Yeah.
one, I think.
100 Heroes is coming soon.
Yeah. Rise. It was nice they released a game that's basically like a fucking, like, an appetizer for the main game.
It's nice they actually have, you know, the, whatchamacallit, gameplay to show off.
Yep. Yep, they give you a good prelude of the idea of what the game's gonna be. It's nice when games do that.
It's nice when anyone does that, since...
I mean, demos are not really... You don't really hear that much about them anymore. And if you do, they're usually high-profile games.
Yeah.
Which is nice they do at least do that. Final Fantasy Rebirth had one.
I know RE4 Remake had one.
Yep, they had one too. It's also nice I was trying to think. RE4 Remake, they gave you like a time limit on how much you could do. Or at least a lot of RPGs. I feel like one of the first that did it was Bravely Default, where you play through the demo, and once you're done with the demo, the progress you did in that carries over to the main game. That is nice. So at least the time you spent in the demo wasn't wasted. I do appreciate that. Alright. Yep, so it's bottom top and then bottom bottom. Well, remember that in case we die. Which is a possibility. Because this room probably sucks. Now we start exploding hammers, because we're on 6. It's that point you probably want to hope you could run underneath him when he jumps. Well, you can try to jump through his hammers, but, well, it's a lot harder. Oh, just wait for World 8. You think Bowser's bad now, just wait for World 8. Oh, he's a dick in World 8. Then again, it's what you should come to expect with Lost levels.
It's just pain. Absolute pain.
Of course. Oh yeah, another great game we've never talked about, I think, on the channel yet. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League!
Oh, that was a game?
Yeah, it's weird. It sounds like that game's probably gonna be dead. How ironic for a live service game. It's gonna die very quickly. Yeah, it sounds like they were planning on like releasing like a bunch of like bosses and chapters as the game went on. It sounds like you should just release it as a big complete game instead of making it a live service co-op player thing.
Yeah, and start turning it into a looter shooter or whatever the fuck.
Apparently, the gameplay is fun though, to a certain extent. But
it is very
it does not justify the piecemeal story they basically forcing you into.
And they also made it so that grinding for certain characters is stupidly long to the point where
you
it's
basically
may as well just
focus on your favorite and use them only.
Yeah. Like, I honestly don't give a shit about that.
That's what I've heard.
So, I heard the gameplay was good, but honestly, it's like, I mean, some people would say that this is what the casual public has kind of let happen as a result.
Yep. Well, blame that on the big publishers thinking that casual gamers are influencing their decisions.
It's basically just the, it's a combination of A and B.
Yeah. It's the publishers see where the money's made because of the casual gamers and what they spend their money and time on.
And also the executives, because they're the ones with really the most precedence.
That's more what I meant, but yeah, the executives, not so-called the publishers, but the executives behind them, yes. That's what they think all the money is. Sadly, they're kind of right, but a lot of games are getting bad reputation because of it.
And it's kind of like a death by 1,000 cuts scenario.
For some, anyway. I mean, Rocksteady is definitely one of the biggest sufferers of that. Oh! Wow, he threw him low to start, too! What a dickhead! Damn! I should have figured. Oh yeah, another big game, another decent game I heard that came out. Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah. Another Atlas game.
Oh wow, it was Atlas, shit.
Atlas was making 2 games. I wasn't super interested in Unicorn Overlord, but there's another game that they're working on that I really want to check out. I forget what it's called though. It's like Rima Moria or something like that. You can look it up if you want.
That does sound familiar, yeah.
But yeah, that game is what I'm looking forward to from Atlas.
Yeah, they are really good at RPGs. They're one of the better of the JRPG developers nowadays. They just happen to release a fuck ton every year.
Yeah. They're basically like the wild card
They're a
ones.
JRPG factory, that fucking company. Like, goddamn.
It's like it's impressive that they get as far as they do with their games.
Oh yeah, Horizon Forbidden West is on PC now, so you can enjoy it.
Great for everybody else.
You don't want it?
I never asked for this.
Oh god, that reminds me. I saw a cover around the time the first Horizon game came out. Vogue magazine had like a picture of her on the cover, basically saying like how she's pushed the envelope forward for like female protagonists in video games.
Like
the bottom half.
That's actually another big thing that also bugs me about protagonists in video games as well, is that they seem to have this emphasis on humanizing people by making them uglier.
Yeah, that can be a bit of a turn off. It can be a little dumb. you have to
It sounds assholeish
make
too.
them ugly to make them relatable. It's kind of.
I only say that because I've noticed that happen with certain characters in video games. The big ones are, I think if you've heard the stories about Abby, I think is in Last of Us 2 apparently. Like her real life model is actually pretty, but they kind of overemphasize making her uglier, try and make her relatable or something.
They wanted to try to make her. Some of them do try and possibly do it for the controversy, because
That is also true. Yeah.
it's like some people say, fucking bad press is fucking good press.
Any press is good press.
Yep. You can talk shit, but fucking hey, it gets people hearing about it. They'll get people checking out. Either way.
Yeah.
So some of it could be, some of them trying to bend over to that, but yeah. I saw that image, I saw it, and then somebody made an image of basically the Vogue cover, and then basically a meme in the bottom half just has Samus looking at the screen, at the computer screen, and the second image is her looking, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's like, I want to ask, like, how far has your gaming exposure been to, buddy?
Well, it's fucking Vogue. They're probably
Yeah, I'm about to
not
say,
a fucking
like,
casual fucking.
Like, they were like what is it? Not even a video game.
Exactly. It's fucking fashion and girl magazine stuff. It was a girl at a high-profile Sony games. They're like, oh my god, a female protagonist in video games. Like, Nintendo had this back in 1987. Fucking. Like, Jesus. Breaking the mold for females in video games. That was on the covers, like, Jesus. It just sounds... God damn it, Bowser. It just sounds pretentious. Like, ugh.
That's the big thing, yeah. It's all the,
Like, you can be influential without having to make it feel like you're, like, trying to be. Like...
And you're also, like, It also, like, sounds like it's being
catering, yeah.
Catering to a bunch of people. It's like, why the fuck would I care about Vogue? You're not a video game site or whatever.
I mean, I haven't played the game. I'm sure the character's fine.
The character's fine. It's just like...
I've heard the dialogue sucks, but...
Yeah, but that's just the thing. It's like, why would I care about what Vogue says? You're not a fucking video game site.
I know. It's just...
I know. I know what it is. It's just... I'm just bringing it up. It's like...
Yeah.
Like, cater to the fucking video game crowd, not everybody else who's not a video game fan.
I mean, it is nice getting a little more mainstream appeal, but at the same time, it's like...
It's a double-edged sword, because it's like... There is mainstream appeal, but it's also being helmed by people that, when you sit down and look at them, they really aren't big on video games. They're social activists.
Imagine if movie critics were people that didn't like watching movies. Or video game critics were people that didn't like playing video games.
Imagine.
That's what it feels like!
Or imagine seeing video game critics that actually don't know how to play a fucking video game.
Oh wait, we have those. We have plenty of those.
That's the joke.
I can think of I know there's at least a few really bad ones off the top of my head. I mean, the Cuphead one's, like, notoriously bad.
And, by extension, Doom Eternal.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Doom Eternal one that somebody
It's the same person that did the Cuphead tutorial.
Oh my god. At least that game's a little harder to pick up, so I could somewhat understand that. But then, by the same token, if you can't play it, let somebody else review it who fucking can! Fuck!
Like I say, it's just like
or get out of the fucking field! It's like they always say, once is a coincidence, twice is a pattern. Especially when the button layouts are right fucking there. The Cuphead one's inexcusable. They have the buttons in the tutorial! I'll admit, I've had a really stupid moment, though. I remember the first time I played Xenoblade Chronicles 1 with the Wii Pro controller. I couldn't start the very first battle, and I was struggling ready to put the game down. I never pressed the A button.
Ah.
To draw your weapon, I never pressed the A button. I was like, because I kept hitting B. God damn it.
That's why I fucking hate
I was like,
Nintendo's
God, I
layout.
want to play this game. I can't. It's fucking bullshit. I hit A. I was like, oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot.
That's why I fucking hate Nintendo, because they're always the most inconsistent. It's like, oh, guess what?
Technically, they were the first to do it that way, so Xbox made it consistent, but
I don't fucking care because
Xbox is more the standard now, so
I don't fucking care because Xbox and PlayStation are the ones that are consistent for me. So
Fair
I see
enough.
Nintendo. Technically, they were right when they had the fucking GameCube.
Technically, PlayStation's the one that's inconsistent because they use symbols instead of letters. Alright, you, listen up! Shut up!
Hey, they have at least consistent positions with Xbox, unlike Nintendo, which would be like, oh, we have the right buttons. We're just gonna lay them out side by side because.
Meanwhile, Sony changed how Circle and X worked for Japanese players because they had to change how it originally worked for American players. But now American players is the standard. Oh. Man, American audiences really have influenced a lot of gaming. And yep, Japanese developers are still the ones that influence gaming the most.
It's almost
For
like
the best and worst of ways. Trying to think, who would be more influential on all the cutscene stuff, though? Kojima, the Metal Gear Solid series? Or perhaps those like Naughty Dog?
No, it's Kojima.
Probably.
He's the first one that did this.
I mean, yeah. It was fine for Metal Gear Solid, and acceptable for... It was fine for 1, acceptable to a point for 2. Sometimes it got bad. But only really bad towards the end of the game.
Yeah, like, it's at least the end of the game, so...
3 was better. Not as good as 1, but better than 2. And the only really bad set of cutscenes was already when you were done all the gameplay, so that was whatever. An ending movie as reward's not that bad. That's fine. But 4 was the absolute apex of the bullshittery.
Yeah.
That whole project's basically aired on my channel at this point. Yeah, it's fucking bullshit, man. The ending cutscenes are all an hour and 20 minutes long! Like, Jesus! That's a fucking movie!
And multiple of them at that.
And the worst part is, like, man, they had cutscenes out the ass in the chapters before it, too!
Yeah, it's like they just don't fucking stop. It's like, I get you want to tell your story, that's great, but maybe we should have someone that kind of draws the line and be like, we're playing a fucking game here.
I would say, like
that's the thing about stories that's just like, I don't fucking care about your story and characters, I want to play a fucking game.
It was the official step too far in 4.
Yeah.
It also had the cutscene gameplay things, and the most notorious one towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Mash the A button for like 3 fucking minutes, or X button, whatever. Oh! I remember hearing about that, and then I got to it, I was like, oh no! I was like, why is this bad? And then like a minute into it, I was like, oh god! Oh god, this isn't done! Oh god! Why is this long? Like, yes! Thank god!